Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Burgers and Fries podcast, your Bob's Burgers companion podcast. With you this week is Brian and Ryan.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas
February
episode.
28th.
That's right, February. On this release day, the last day of February is the first day
of Christmas. So
that's how it goes.
Hope you enjoy all the snow that you have for Christmas. I know we are.
We're still getting it. It's still too much.
Yeah, I mean, we have more snow now than we did for Christmas, so there we go. We have our white Christmas
did we
here.
have
very little
snow on Christmas? I couldn't remember. Yeah,
just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not that much though. But it's all right. We are in the festive mood to talk about a Bob Burgers Christmas episode. And this one is one of my more favorite ones from the Christmas ones that we've done so far. It is called Father of the Bob. Mm-hmm. So this one aired December 7th, 2014. Written by Stephen Davis and Calvin Yu. Directed by Chris Song. Let me give just a brief old synopsis of this one. Bob and his dad, Big Bob, try to outdo each other in the kitchen when they rehash an old argument at Big Bob's Christmas party. Meanwhile, the kids compete to get the best present for Bob. And I like how they say get, because that's not what they end up doing. But yeah, this is the first ever physical appearance of Bob Sr. Mm-hmm. Voiced by Bill Hader, which also, sadly, is last week we had Mickey's last appearance. This is Bob Hader's last ever appearance so far on the show. Bill Hader. Who did I say?
Bob Hader.
Whatever. Bill Hader. Bad. It is Bob Hader because he's Big Bob.
Oh, he's Big Bob. Yeah.
No, this is Bill Hader's final appearance on Bob's Burgers to this date of recording.
Which is so sad because he was such a big part of the show for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You know, ever since Mickey came on board, and then he's just been voicing characters left and right.
Yeah, he was mostly Mickey, and then this is his last role, which is kind of sad then, which means, kind of spoiler alert, we don't see Big Bob again. We haven't seen Big Bob again. Since this season 5. Mm-hmm. And, here's we don't necessarily need to keep going back to that, but we also haven't had Mickey then, that means.
Which is, it's sad because we were both really big Bill Hader fans. Mm-hmm. And so when he is involved in something, it's always really fun. And now he is gone for the foreseeable future, and it's just a little sad, that's all.
Yeah. But we also have Nick Offerman, who reprises a new role.
Nick Offerman is so great. He needs to do stuff all the time.
He does the voice of one of the patrons of Big Bob's,
yes.
Pete. Carl Reiner makes a crazy appearance.
Carl Reiner is so awesome. We need to get the writers on the show and ask them how they got Carl Reiner.
Who does, again, who's another, he's kind of the whole spark of the argument,
right?
Which not because of Carl Reiner, just because of the person. Then Jordan Peele, of course, is back, and he also plays a person, Big Bob patron. Mm-hmm. I think his name was Max for this episode. But yeah, so this kind of gets into the whole why Bob and Big Bob do not get along. Mm-hmm. We've had small mentions in previous episodes of Bob saying that his dad hates him and all this other kinds of stuff. But we never got a full story. We never got a reason why. And this is kind of the payoff to that. This is why they don't hang out very often. And we get kind of a good backstory that feels maybe a little, if not just a little, forced in certain areas. But that's not, we'll get into that later. But yeah, it's just, we get Big Bob, we get the conflict. We get to see what happens when these two are in the same room together because we've never seen that before.
That's very true.
So yeah, I don't really have anything to do. Again, we pre-watched this.
No, you set it up pretty well.
So we pre-watched this, but we'll pause again if you want to watch now, or if you've already watched, it's great. Just kind of listen on through. We will be back to discuss Father of the Bob right after this.
Okay, this is it. I'm going to give little Bob his Christmas gift. Everybody ready? Bob Jr.
What's going on?
Bobby, you've been working here your whole life, and I'm sure you've been waiting for this day.
What are you doing?
From this point forward, Big Bob's Diner will officially be called...
Oh, Dad, don't.
Bob and Sons. All right! The new menus and... Okay, that's gonna say Sons. It's not done yet, but it's great, huh?
My cousin's painting it. He's slow. He can only do about a letter a day, but he can spell like a son of a bitch.
Like a son of a bitch. Come here, partner. Come on. You want to be partners or what?
That was the episode, and thank you all for joining us. We're done.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And podcast. Yeah, your Christmas present is this podcast is really short.
So let's get this out of the way, just because I don't want to wait till the end. Let's do the running gags. We never do a consistent spot in the podcast.
That's okay.
For that. That's the store.
That's our running gag.
The store next door was Miracle on 34th Sheets, which says on the bottom, sheets and bedding in 34 colors.
See, now, are the sheets and bedding 34 colors? Each sheet has 34 colors in it, or there's 34 colors to choose from?
Both.
You think so?
It is just sheets and bedding in 34 colors. So they only have 34 to choose from. Whether or not that is 34 of the same, of different patterns on 34 types of sheets. This is literally a store with 34 types of sheets in it. Okay. That's my guess.
Okay.
Because it is sheets and bedding in 34 colors. So,
okay.
So it's either going to be one whole store of sheet with 34 colors on each sheet, or it's just a store of sheets in 34 separate colors, or combinations of them. Who knows?
Sure.
But it's unclear. Maybe that's why the store doesn't stay around past Christmas.
That's true.
Because it's just very unclear what you're going to get in there.
That's right.
And then Pest Control was not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Pest Control. Which is a reference to
I think that's a very good Pest Control. It was a little long, but it's very good.
And then the burger of the day is the Cheeses is Born Burger, which comes with Baby Swiss, which is kind of funny. But that leads us right into the episode, because Teddy's in the restaurant eating, and he's kind of like, I guess, the last customer, because they're closing down early, because they're going to go to Bob's dad's holiday party.
Right.
So Bob's like telling Teddy to eat slower because he doesn't want to go. And we get a good song here from Linda, her Christmas magic song that Teddy tries to sing, which I thought is really funny.
Now, do you think John Roberts is freestyling this?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because Teddy was right along with that too. I think that it was pre-scripted, but I think maybe the way he's saying it, maybe the way Linda's saying it was differently. Then maybe she made up her own melody for it, but yeah. I mean they did write a song. I mean the end credit has that song.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Really, the episode actually starts out with the beginning of the conflict. It's why does Bob and Big Bob why do they not get along? And it's because Bob is creative and Big Bob is not. The end. There's a little bit more to it, but
right.
But Baby Bob,
you can say Big Bob is traditional, and Bob Jr. is creative.
Baby Bob's made this burger that he's made that I guess he's probably made in the restaurant before. But he was a little boy. He was talking to his utensils like he does now, which was great. So little Baby Bob making that, and then his regular Henry, who the guy voiced by Carl Reiner, orders the usual, but Baby Bob makes a different than the usual. He makes a burger called the Baby You Can Chive My Car burger, which is sour cream and chives and I think fried pickle wheels with toothpicks on the side, just like to represent the wheels of the car on the side of the burger, which I think is a cool looking burger. I'd eat the burger. So technically, we have another burger of the day in this episode. We have the Baby You Can Chive My Car burger. And so he starts rattling off because his dad comes back from the prostate exam, and Baby Bob's got all these ideas for burgers. He's got the Crispy Brinkley burger, the Richard Persimmons burger, the Greta's Gouda burger. And you can see that this is at a young age. He's got this idea. He's got this want to make all these fun burgers. That's what he wants to do. And Big Bob's like, no, we don't do that. We only make, we make what we got.
We make what's on the menu.
Yeah. Did Henry order this burger? Well, no, Henry ordered the usual. So you make him the usual. You don't. It was
a tuna melt. Which is usual.
You don't make an old man something. He's a tuna melt man is what they said.
Right.
So you don't make a guy something that he doesn't want. That's not on the menu.
That's right.
So that's kind of the first little seeds of disdain between the two of them. That Bob's that his creativity is being pretty much stifled here. Like he just can't do it.
He gets fed up with it, and he's I don't want to say he's being picked on, but maybe his dad's being a little nitpicky, where he's like, don't. That's not how you do a spatula. You do it like this, and then later on in the episode, where you're burning a grilled cheese, you're making a grilled cheese here for the first time, kind of thing. So he's being maybe a little overly critical about what Bob is doing in the kitchen.
That says grilled cheese. It doesn't say burnt toast or something.
Yeah.
So I mean there's an A story, and then there's the side B story of the kids trying to make presents for Bob because they forgot, supposedly. Each kid, I think, thought so the way that these kids apparently do their holiday shopping for their parents is one of them gets something, they all put their name on it. And this year, none of them remembered to do that. So we find out that at the current state of affairs of the family, Bob cannot be around his dad for more than 15 minutes because exactly at the 15-minute mark, Big Bob says something that is, I guess, deemed inappropriate. Like it's a slight to what Bob has done his whole life. So I think one of them was one of them was the.
What?
I'm trying to remember the three because they give the 3 flashbacks. Did you have those written down of each 15-minute blurb?
Oh boy, one was with Gene. He's like, so you're gonna call the kid Gene, huh? I was like, that's it, I'm out of here. One of them was at the grand opening of Bob's restaurant, Bob's Burgers. And he's like, I give it 3 weeks or something like that. He's like, that's it, I'm out of here. And one of them was maybe at a cookout. He's like, that's it, I'm out of here. And then he had to leave. I think there was 3.
So the first one was the wedding.
Okay. Oh, it was the wedding?
Because he's like something like, good luck, I give it 3 months. Oh, no, that was the restaurant.
No, the restaurant.
That was the restaurant. Good luck, I give it 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them was, you're a lot fatter than I was at your age.
Yeah, that was at the cookout.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it, I'm out of here.
And then cute kid, so you named your son Gene, huh? Is it too late to change that?
Yes.
Those were the 3 15-minute intervals that we see where you can see that something happened where now they are very short-tempered with each other. Not short-tempered, but short-fused. They're just not... We can't be around each other for very long, or something happens. Typically, it's... In this instance, it's Big Bob saying something that...
Sure. Just irritates, little Bob, and he just doesn't want to deal with it, so he just leaves.
So they go to the Christmas... party, and we get to see Big Bob for the first time. He has a restaurant of his own. It's a bit bigger than Bob's, which whatever. That's not. I don't think it's a contest between them, but it's called Big Bob's.
Oh, it's a contest.
Sure.
No.
But yeah, so they get to the restaurant, and the kids go inside. They have the emergency. We'll kind of push that story aside for now. But they go inside. Right. They got a Christmas emergency. We need arts and crafts, and of course, Big Bob's like, I don't got any of those things. But
I don't got any of those things. I got about junk in the basement. You can go check it out.
So they go to the basement and check out what they can make, and we'll put that story in the side burner for now because it becomes relevant at the end, but not right now.
Right.
So they're there, and apparently, Big Bob has a good enough restaurant, where he gets help. Like he actually has workers that work with him. Because remember, one of the guys had to take off for he had a worker who was going to help that night.
Yeah, but he had to go. He had to go to the hospital. He had kidney stones or something like that.
Yeah,
some bullshit excuse.
Yeah,
right.
Bob didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the hospital for his daughter. His daughter's having a baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, people can be pretty selfish.
Yes.
Jerk baby. And, so it's just we end up getting. We end up seeing that he has, he's a big enough person where he can hire help. When Bob tried to hire help, it was Mickey, and he had to work for free, with a roof over his head,
right?
And a couple meals. But Big Bob can afford real workers, at least one real worker.
Mm-hmm.
So since Big Bob is shorthanded, Linda comes with the idea that hey, other Bob can help, and he could be the Bobbies in the kitchen together.
And Linda can run the food. And then Linda has the idea she's going to run the food. She wants to, give the Bobs more time to talk in the kitchen.
She's trying to create the Christmas magic.
Right. Which, by the way, do you know what Christmas magic is?
It's that special time of year.
No. What Linda thinks Christmas magic is.
Does she say it's whatever you want it to be?
Christmas is whatever you want it to be. She's like, sometimes Christmas magic is wine. Christmas magic can be snow, or Santa, or beer, or gin, or rum, or schnapps. Nice. Mostly alcohol. Mostly Christmas magic is alcohol.
That would be Linda's Christmas magic for sure.
Right. Or beer, or gin, or rum, or schnapps. It's pretty much what Christmas is all about.
Christmas means liquor to her.
That's right. So it's pretty funny.
Hey, father issues. We all got them. I've got mother issues, too. I've even got cousin issues. Beautiful blonde cousin issues.
Ew.
What?
Oh, forget your 15-minute rule. Tonight's the night you and your dad finally patch everything up because of Christmas magic.
Christmas magic.
This time of year.
Okay, stop,
All
Teddy.
the cold, hungry people.
All those cold, hungry people.
They're dying in the streets.
They're dying in the streets.
Me and my family will be warm tonight.
Okay, Len.
So yeah, I mean, we do see. I kind of want to talk about Big Bob's restaurant for a bit. Because not only is it a little bit bigger, he has help, but he also has breakfast.
Yes, he does have breakfast.
And he has different things on the menu than just burgers and like salads and French fries.
That's right.
So I pulled up his menu, and I wish I could see the prices on all of them. But he's got hot dogs and chili dogs for the same price. It's pretty nice. He's got eggs and toast, eggs, bacon, and toast. He's got omelets and pancakes and steak and eggs, and then meatloaf and Salisbury steak and chicken patties.
I mean, it's pretty small menu, but it's diverse.
Yeah, I mean, Bob's menu is like 6 items.
Well, because he's strictly a burger joint. This is a diner.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna have that variety that's there.
Yeah, but it's still not that big of a restaurant though. Like I'm just looking at a picture right now of it. It's about the same size. It still has about the same amount of booths, maybe like 2 or 3 more booths.
Right.
It actually has a table.
Yeah, it's a little larger than Bob's little place.
He's got obviously the patty melt,
right?
And a tuna melt.
Yes, the tuna melt.
But it says patty melt on the menu. His cheeseburger. Okay, here's the thing. So Bob sells his cheeseburger for what is it? $5.95 is what it
the
says on his
special
menu?
is $5.95. So typically
a cheeseburger is $5.95.
Maybe $5. Yeah, okay.
Cheeseburger at Big Bob's Diner is $3.
Wow.
Like,
well, Bob is using more ingredients, right? Costs a little bit more.
I know, but I'm just.
Maybe it's on a little wealthier side of town.
Which restaurant? Small Bob's?
Small Bob's.
Well, this is by the wharf. Obviously,
yes, it's going to be a little bit more
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually Big Bob's second place because wasn't there an episode in season 3 when when Bob fires the kids, he gets those toys from the old building, the lesbians that moved in?
Yes.
So this is actually Big Bob's second restaurant.
That's right.
So he upgraded areas and still sells cheeseburgers for $3.
Yeah.
Which is quite a steal. Oh, chicken pot pie, not chicken patty. So it's chicken pot pie, which that's a pretty nice meal to have too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean it's a nice looking restaurant. He's got a shake maker, not an ice cream machine, but he's got a shake maker.
That's nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it is a standard kind of restaurant, but yeah. So they're there, and they're having the Christmas party, and the crew is there. So just like Bob has Teddy and Mort, who come in all the time and eat with him. Big Bob has his regulars too. His regulars,
that's right. Bless you.
Yeah, so he's got, what did we say? Max, Henry, and who was the last one?
Horace.
No,
I just made that up.
Okay.
I'm not really sure who it is. I just made it up.
No, because one of them is...
one of them's Jordan Peele.
Yeah, that's Max, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Henry, because that's the Carl Reiner character.
Mm-hmm. He's the regular.
Yeah. And then there's Nick Offerman's character. What was his name? Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah. So I mean, he's got 3 regulars, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Which is one more than Little Bob.
Pete. Pete's the one who's dressed up as Santa.
Okay.
In the episode. But yeah, so the chef or the other cook is gone, so Bob's in there. He sets a timer 15 minutes. He's like, I'm only going to do this for 15 minutes, and we got to go. Because something's going to happen in that 15 minutes, which something does, of course, in true sitcom fashion, in true comedy fashion. A dinger hits, and there's the thing. It's not like it hits 15 minutes, and then nothing happens, and then maybe 3 or 4 seconds later, or 10 seconds later, then it happens, you know. You only have so much time you got to work with. But yeah, at 15 minutes, that happens. I'm trying to think what he said there, because it was that was the grilled cheese thing. 'Cause they were talking about how they were making grilled cheese, And so the dinger happens, and it
Yes.
says, it says grilled cheese, but maybe they thought it said burnt toast.
Right.
But then Henry's order comes in. So Henry comes in the restaurant and wants the usual.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it kind of triggers that flashback of him as a little
This
kid.
PSD flashback where
Pretty
he
much.
sees his burger being tossed into the bin, right?
Yeah,
the bus
baby
bin.
can chive my car.
Yep.
So they kind of have a little contest. They're both going to make one of those things for Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So Big
Yeah,
Bob's
it
tuna
turns
melt.
into a competition when it doesn't really need to.
No.
Right.
So Big Bob makes the tuna melt, and Little Bob makes his Baby You Can Chive My Car, which apparently you have all the stuff for there. Mm-hmm. So, amazingly, for Big Bob's Diner, for him to have fried pickle wheels.
Well, they're not fried though. I think they fry them for the book, for the Bob's Burgers cookbook.
but
In this episode, they are not fried.
When he rattles off what it is, when he's a kid, he says it's fried pickle wheels for the wheel.
But they don't look fried.
Yeah, they do. They're just lightly battered.
No, they're green. Dude, pull it up.
Okay.
They're totally green.
Regardless,
And you could look either before or after when the burger pops up, because they are not. They're green. They are not battered at all.
so then there's a continuity error between what they say and what it is?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Let's just verify. I thought it said fried pickle. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just says pickle wheels. Yeah, little fried pickle wheels on the sides that look like a car.
That's great. That's what it says. But that's not what the
Sure.
animation shows.
That's fine. That's fine. Regardless, it's supposed to be fried pickle wheels, and it's not. That triggers his
PTSD.
his PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And let's kind of talk about, before we get into this rest of it.
Ooh, hockey's on.
We mentioned that there was a falling out, and we can see as they're growing up, Big Bob's got a surprise for him on his birthday.
Big ol' Bob.
So,
Yeah, it has a surprise on Bob's birthday.
So Bob's birthday present is that Big Bob is going to make Little Bob
A partner.
a partner in
Co-owner.
the restaurant.
It's no longer Big Bob's Diner. It's Big Bob's and Sons.
And son, Big Bob's and So.
Yes, which the sign they
It's going to be Bob
show
and
it.
Sons.
Right.
Is what it's going to be called.
That's what it is. Thank you.
But his, I think it was Pete's cousin was painting it.
Yes,
But he's really slow, so he's going to do about one letter a day.
that's right.
But he can spell like a son of a bitch.
Like a son of a bitch.
And he's like, I don't want to be partners with you. You're overbearing. You don't let me be creative.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this. And that's when he leaves and I guess doesn't come back. He literally, because he wants to change the menu. You won't let me change the menu. Because as you said, Big Bob's like, it's all about, this is what we have. We're not going to change what's working. So then they get out, and Bob, in true Bob fashion, is like, you know what? I just thought of a new burger. It's called the I'm Sprout of Here burger. Which comes with sprouts or something like that. And then he says, "What? I'd be cheddar off anywhere but here burger or something." With aged cheddar, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. I'd rather be, I'd cheddar be anywhere else but here with aged cheddar because he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, I like a good aged cheddar.
But then Jordan Peele's character's like, "Merry Christmas, Bob!" as he's leaving.
His character was kind of like the.
It was levity for the episode, for the show.
Well, the levity, but he also wanted to keep the peace between the two. He did that in the past, and he did that in the.
He and Linda,
in the present.
He and Linda together were.
Well, Linda didn't want to try and.
She wanted to make peace.
She wanted to make peace.
She made the whole song about peace.
That's true.
After
peace,
the whole
peace, everybody, peace.
She starts singing "Oh Come All You Faithful" in the tune where she sings "Peace" in the tune of "Oh Come All You Faithful."
Yeah.
And so they both make the burgers. They hand them out to Henry, and he looks at them over and chooses the Baby Blue Chive My Car burger because he just thinks it smells so good. And Little Bob takes great pride in saying that, he likes my burger, take that, Dad. Because for him, this was really all just kind of about beating his dad for once. And so then his dad gets upset and leaves.
Yeah, it was a big moment for him, for Little Bob. Mm-hmm. And then his dad gets upset. He leaves. He goes to the bar next door, and then we have Nick Offerman, come over
still dressed as Santa.
Still dressed as Santa, right?
Because Nick Offerman's character, he owns the bar next door. Because that's what just like how Mort owns the mortuary next door.
Yes.
In the funeral home, he has the gay bar next door, isn't it? What it is?
Yes, it has a gay bar next door. And tonight is line dancing night, and Bob and
Country-
Big
yeah,
Bob
country western line dancing.
western line dancing night, and they cannot get in without wearing a cowboy hat, which is a fun little costume change, so
Yeah.
to speak.
And disco, because what else was this? Was disco was Wednesdays, and
Scandal.
Scandal on Thursdays.
Yeah, they love Scandal.
They mentioned an ABC show on a Fox network, which was pretty funny. But yeah, so he goes. So the whole reason that Little Bob goes over to this restaurant, though, is the kids bring up a wrapped snow globe. They found that all their presents went to hell that they were creating, and they ended up just wrapping up a snow globe in a piece of newspaper and bring it up.
Right.
And he unwraps it, and he starts looking at the paper, and the kids are like, you know, that's not the present. The present, you know, was here. And he sees that it's a clipping of when Bob's restaurant first opened. It's like a review of the restaurant. So, you know, all this time, Bob thought that his dad didn't care about what he was doing, but yet his dad had secretly kind of been keeping tabs on him and how he was doing.
Right.
You know, so I'm sure he had news clippings, not just of when the restaurant opened, but he probably had news clippings of when it got, you know, when he had to reopen it once and then reopen it again. Because, you know, if it's a small enough newspaper, there's clips on that all the time. But he probably kept tabs this whole time, and just, you know, they're both too stubborn. They're both very stubborn people.
Yes.
So they don't
Like father, like son in
Yeah.
this instance.
So they go over and they apologize. He apologizes because Bob's trying to line dance and talk, because you got to be out there to line dance. You got to do all that kind of stuff.
Then we get to see the side of Big Bob where he goes to this gay bar and he dances, and Little Bob's like, "Wait, are you gay?" He's like, "I'm not gay. Like, these are my customers. I come over here and I hang out. I love Scandal.
They eat my dinner. I
Yeah,
come and
I come over here and I
dance."
hang out at the bar with them, right? When I close up. So these are my friends, you know.
Yeah.
So we get to see that side of Big Bob, and we get to see Little Bob, you know, kind of work through an apology on the dance floor, and he's not very good. Everybody knows all the steps, and it's pretty, you know, it's a little humorous way to during a lighter moment in the episode.
Yeah, basically it's Bob coming to the realization that his dad shows love in different ways than what he was expecting. You know, he's not sorry that he left. He's not sorry that he started his own business, but he's sorry of how they ended, you know, all those years ago. And he thought that he didn't care until he saw the review. And then they again, another fun little moment of levity where they talk about how, you know, it's not a good idea to put my kids in your basement. Gene took a beanbath.
Right. We can talk about the kids' adventure.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But then they get back into the restaurant, and they're, you know, a little jovial. They're not back on, you know, they're not back to being, you know, the best father-son duo ever, but they are back to being a little bit happier with each other. And Bob, you know, Big Bob mentions that you got a good family in there because they're all working, they're all putting in their weight to run the restaurant while the two Bobs are out not doing something. And so Linda thinks it's Christmas magic, and that gets to the credits. But let's talk about the kid journey.
Yes.
Let's mention how we get to Gene taking a beanbath in the basement.
And how are my grandkids doing?
I got problems, but nothing $5 wouldn't fix.
Grandpa, you don't look a day over Grandpa age.
You're a doll, Tina.
Thank you.
Hey, look what I got here. Who's your favorite president?
Bill Pullman. Today we fight for our independence.
Here you go.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Gramps. Hey, listen, we have an arts and crafts emergency. We need glue, we need paper, we need pasta. We need it, like, yesterday.
How many sizes of googly eyes do you have?
I don't really have any of that, but I've got a bunch of crap down in the basement if you kids want to take a look.
One man's trash is another man's present for their father.
Which was classic Gene.
Pretty gross.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But again, after last week's Gene, this is back to regular Gene.
I think
this
so.
is back to what Gene would be doing, which makes even last week's episode more jarring to me when you think about it.
Sure.
So the whole reason, again, we talked about it. They're in the car. They realize they didn't get a present for Dad or Mom. Mostly Dad they care about.
Well, they got a present for Mom.
That's right.
Tina got a present. I forget what it was.
Yeah, Tina got a present, and they all put their name on it.
And then Gene's like, "Yeah, but I got it." Yeah. And then Louise is like, "Okay, great. I'll put my name on that too." What'd you get for Dad? Oh no, I didn't get anything for Dad. She's like, "Oh, Tina, you dropped the ball." Like, what are you doing? Like, okay, Louise, like you could have gotten that too, but Louise doesn't care. She's like, "You're supposed to get."
So
all
they
these
each get like $5 from Grandpa from Pop Pop, and they need arts and crafts. We said so. They go to the basement to try to make a present.
Right.
So each of them is making their own
present for Dad.
Present
It
for
becomes
Dad.
a competition.
Yeah, again, and this whole episode's, you know, full of fun competitions between Bob and Big Bob, and then the kids. So we have Louise decides that she's going to start taking these mouse traps, this massive pile of mouse traps, and start making a large super trap for their dad for some reason. Tina finds an old chair and a bunch of like office supplies and starts making this like super chair, like this. He'll never have to stand up again. He'll have notepads and papers and tape and just everything. And Gene finds a box of like army grade industrial size cans of baked beans.
Right.
And he's like, I'm just gonna take a bean bath and think.
Well, at first he starts to drum on them. Dad likes to drum on beans, doesn't he? And he starts banging on with like colanders and a big ladle. And then later, as the two girls are kind of going at it with the better idea, which Louise is trying to form a giant mousetrap, statue?
No, well, she called it the super trap, but I think it ends up becoming a statue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was drumming, and then he ended up
just ripping up the cans and dumping it in a giant cardboard box.
At first, he thought he was going to take out. He was taking the beans out because he thought that the drums would sound better, which is true. So he initially ripped open the bean things, and he says, "I thought they'd sound better, but then I decided that I could take a bean bath, put some ham over my eyes, and just kind of think, reflect on it." So he's in there with a bean bath in his underwear. He didn't take his underwear off because that would not be appropriate for a cartoon on Fox. Mm-hmm. But he has his underwear on, taking his bean bath. And Tina has this really cool, like the chair's really cool, like the way that she gets everything in it. Mm-hmm. So it ends up having like towels to wipe up the floor. It's got a basketball. It's got like a ladle and a spatula and like a dartboard and like a water cup holder and a keyboard and mouse. Like it's like this big thing that is just held together with Scotch tape. Like
duct tape. She had duct tape
on some things. A lot of it looks like Scotch tape.
Okay.
If you look at the pictures, it's Scotch tape.
All right.
A lot of it is Scotch tape. There's a toilet paper holder, which I thought was really cool. Like, whatever.
Yeah. And Gene's just chilling in his big box of beans.
Taking the bean bath. So everybody's present falls apart. Uh-huh. So first Louise's present breaks because all the traps end up going off. And like Tina's was okay. So what happened actually was Tina, I think, taped on like an eraser, and then that made it too much top heavy, and it tipped over onto Louise's trap, and that exploded. Mm-hmm. And Gene is still in his bean bath, and he's like, "I guess I win," because it was the competition was to see which present would win. But then his box breaks. So then they have to go find the present. They find the snow globe.
Yep.
And they find the paper and wrap it, and that's their adventure.
And Gene doesn't change his clothes for the rest of the episode. He's wearing his underwear and a bow around his neck.
He finds a bow.
Yes.
And ties it around his neck.
Mm-hmm. So he's festive, and he's covered in beans.
He's Bean Boy now.
And he comes up and asks the patrons who wants to catch him like the greased up pig at the county fair.
Yes.
And he's running around, catch an old Bean Boy, and he's running around the restaurant. Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But then they take over the restaurant, as we mentioned, and it shows that, it kind of just reflects that they reflects that the family always has well intentions, despite how things look. Yes, the kids didn't get him a present, and that's because they didn't think about it. Because they're kids again. For one, when you're that age, you're not thinking what I'm going to get from my dad and my mom. Mm-hmm. They were praying to Santa Claus at the beginning of the episode instead of like writing a list. They were praying, "Dear Santa, please bring me this." They were doing their Christmas prayers. But yeah, they're totally just working. They're making coffee. They're bussing. They're running food out, and Linda's in the back, making the food. Like they're working the restaurant. That's a better Christmas present, I think, than what they could have bought anything. Just showing that they have that they're a good family together. Mm-hmm. So then they go in, and the kids lock them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're haha, you guys are lovers again. We're gonna lock you out.
Right, they lock him out, but Tina lets him back in, and they get a little upset with Tina. Of
course, Tina does that. Tina was Tina's always in on the joke until it goes too long in her head, and then she fixes it.
Right, because it's not nice.
Yeah,
to leave everybody outside.
I do like what Big Bob said. He says they can really sling hash. I thought that was kind of cool. It's a cool phrase.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, you're a good dad, Junior. Junior.
Yeah, and I do like at the end not at the end, but kind of in the middle when this is back in the middle of the episode when they are having the competition with what was the guy, Walter, who needs the tuna melt?
No, Henry.
Oh man, that's not even close. So he needs a tuna melt, and they both make it, and then Henry decides to smell the burger, and he goes, they both look good, and then Big Bob's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always funny.
That was really funny. I like that a lot. I thought that was really funny.
It's just the whole, he's like, that's my, he's not out of his loyalty for Big Bob, he doesn't want to eat the burger, but he's like, it just smells so good. And, let's be honest, he's had like tuna melt for how many days for the last X amount of years. He probably wants to try something new. So he tries he does try that. And
he likes it and he enjoys it. Yeah, that's how he wins. So, and then we actually have a couple of things, more goodies about the episode. There was actually snow during the intro. Mm-hmm. During the title sequence, they actually had snow. I don't think you mentioned that. And then we get another storefront next to Big Bob's Diner is the On the Case pillowcase outlets.
So he has
it's there during the Bob's Reminiscence, and it's there during.
So it's a long term.
Mm-hmm. It's a long term.
Wait. So it was there in the recap and when they were driving in.
Yes.
So he doesn't have a new building.
No.
So then why did he get his toys from the lesbian couple that moved in?
Dude, come on. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's
maybe
next
the store
door.
moved too. Who knows?
No, it's still next door.
I know. Maybe both stores moved.
Oh, maybe. It could be across the street.
It could have been. I'm just saying that he had to move because he got those toys. They found, they thought they were vibrators.
Right.
I'm glad we were wrong.
Right.
So it is old toys that they had at the restaurant from before, because that was when actually H. John Benjamin voiced Big Bob,
right,
and not Bill Hader in the physical appearance. I don't know, but he does have he has a store next door that does not change. He has good business there.
Mm-hmm. So that's the episode.
Yeah, I don't really have any fun trivia. I think the only thing is the snow globes of the Dallas skyline. Which show developer and executive producer Jim Doderiv is a native of that city. Dotrieve? I can't even... Then they spelled it wrong.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm just reading a different episode. Yeah. I thought so. I was just reading blindly. But the show developer, executive producer Jim Dotrieve is a native of the city. That's kind of cool. And that's about it, really. Like I said, last appearance of Bill Hader, which is kind of sad when you think about it, because now we've gone 4 years now without a Bill Hader voiced sighting. I think this is also the last Nick Offerman sighting so far. This is the only Carl Reiner showing, which I'm not. I was surprised that they got him.
That's just cool. The fun one and done special guest. I think that's really cool that they got Carl Reiner to be on the show.
But we still got Jordan Peele for at least I think 2 more episodes.
Okay,
which I really enjoy, and I know one of them I'm really looking forward to, but I think that's not until season 6. But I'm really looking forward to that episode. Because it's this season. Awesome. So it's this season, so it's coming up.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that episode.
Cool.
That's about all I got for that. We can go ahead and pause. We're gonna go ahead and add some numbers and come back with a breakdown.
They both look good.
You son of a bitch.
Take a bite.
Eat the tuna melt, Henry.
Could I just give the burger a sniff?
Henry.
It's okay to smell it.
Henry.
Smells good, right?
Maybe just a quick lick.
No, not a lick. Don't do it. Don't lick.
Get it all up in there, Henry.
Don't do it, Henry.
You know what? Maybe I won't.
I knew you wouldn't do it, Henry.
Oh my God! I have to.
Henry.
What? I'm not chewing. I'm just holding it in my mouth for a second.
You see that, Pop?
I'm sorry. Oh no. I'm swallowing. Oh, it's so good. I'm having another bite.
Oh.
I win! Ha! How do you like my joke burgers now, Pop?
Okay, Junior. You win. Thanks for coming to my party.
Hey, everybody, I'm covered in bean juice. How about I run around and you all try to catch me like a pig at the state fair? Here I go. Try to catch me. No one's trying very hard.
Good night, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Well, he's out. More Bean Boy for the rest of you.
And we made it back from the other side.
We did make it back.
There are no more numbers to crunch. We have crunched them all. Mm-hmm. And now we are going to put 2 minutes on the clock. And we're going to talk about them. Ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
All right. First off, we had the meta jokes, all the gigs in the stores and stuff. We had the Miracle on 34th Sheets, not a creature stirring, not even a mouse. And we had Jesus is Born and all the various burgers inside the actual episode. I gave that an 8. I really enjoyed all of the burgers. They all sounded delicious to eat, except for maybe the I'm Sprouty here burger. But you know what? Everything else was great. So
I like Sprouts. Yeah, I gave it a 7. The reason it was very high, it was higher for me, was Miracle on 34th Sheets. I thought that was
higher for you. I had an 8.
Or high, just high, like a 7. I don't know.
Okay.
Just the reason it was a 7.
Sure.
Miracle on 34th Sheets.
Story I gave an 8. It was a very good holiday story. We got a good. We get some closure and we get some opening and some closing on the Big Bob story, so we don't have to revisit it, but it's there if we want to.
Yeah, it definitely was a 8 for me as well. I thought it was a very nice Christmas story. You know, it kind of had that heartfelt, come together moment, and everybody's happy at the end. So I thought it was very fitting for the episode and the time of year.
Humor, I gave an 8. There was lots of laughs to be had in this episode. There was not, it can't go any higher if I don't have super, hearty laugh out loud moments, but there was lots of good humor in the episode.
No, absolutely. I like when Big Bob calls one of his regulars a son of a bitch, and I like when Linda is trying to describe Christmas magic, that it could be wine, or snow, or Santa, or beer, or gin, or rum, or schnapps. So I give it an 8.
Then others I gave a 10. It's the send-off for Bill Hader. Ooh. We get a Carl Reiner appearance. We get a Christmas Magic song that Teddy and Linda sing. It gets the 10 for me because it is just kind of a bittersweet moment.
Sure. I give it an 8 pretty much for everything that you said. And yeah, maybe I should have done higher that Bill Hader's no longer on the show. But yeah, an 8 for me.
All right, 8.2, 7.8. That's an 8 total for the episode.
Yeah, that's a solid episode.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, this will be the last time we see Bill Hader that we know of.
I don't know if you've heard, if you've been listening. Bill Hader isn't on the show anymore.
As we record this, they are halfway done with season 9. So it is... Yeah, it has not happened yet, and I don't think there's any upcoming ones. But really, I mean, come on. And that's also the last Nick Offerman. I didn't even say that in my review. But it's the last of these two comedic giants of current day with a comedic giant from yesteryear.
So you think they're getting too busy, or the writers just aren't writing stories for them coincidentally?
Well, I don't think they're getting too big. I mean, Nick Offerman was huge at the time. Bill Hader was still on SNL. They were both extremely busy, but they were able to find time to do this. I just think that they don't need to rely so heavily on that. Maybe they're just cycling in other people. It's not like either of these people were.
That's true.
They're just, most of these are toss away characters. Mickey was cool to have a good story. Otherwise, Nick Offerman just played one-offs. He was the hemp, the blueberry person, and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just they can cycle in new people here and there. They don't need to have them.
That's true.
I think it's amazing that they got these two. Like I said, the two comedic, current heroes or legends, and then they got the Carl Reiner comedic legend to come in and do a voice part, which was really cool. But yeah. They don't need them anymore, but it'd be great to have them there, and they can always bring them back. It's not Mickey's not dead, Big Bob's not dead.
Right.
I mean, they mentioned that Bob's mom has died, but that we never had that as a character, so it's just kind of
right.
They can bring them back if they want, but they haven't had to rely on it, which is fine. So I guess that's going to do it for this episode. Next week, we move on from Christmas. And we don't get New Year's episodes, but it's Tina Taylor, Soldier Spy, which goes back to her Thunder Girls troupe, which we have not seen since season 4. So that'll be fun to see what's happening in that neck of the woods of the Thunder Girls.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll leave it at that. We won't spoil that episode. You'll have to wait until March for that one. Thunder Girls. But yeah, that was Father the Bob. We are Burgers and Fries.
Oh, whoa.
Well, we are.
You're not going to plug anything?
I'm going to. I wasn't done yet.
Oh, okay.
So that was Father the Bob. We are Burgers and Fries. You can find us on anywhere your podcasts are that you listen to. We are Burgers and Fries there. You can go to Podbean. It's the closest way to get to us. We have Twitter, Burgers Fries Pod. We have Instagram, also Burgers Fries Pod. We do have a Patreon set up, which is patreon.com/burgers and fries, where we are going to release some new content. We always say that. We're just waiting to see what we wanted to put on there. Otherwise, just keep your nose in Twitter and Instagram if you want to see what we're up to recently, because we do post on there what's going on. Otherwise, I don't know if I got anything else. Do you have anything?
No, that's going to do it for us, I think. We're going to be gone next week for spring training, but we'll still have an episode.
Yeah, this episode.
Yeah, we have this episode, which is nice, because I can enjoy baseball, and hopefully some warm weather.
Yeah.
So if anybody's down there and wants to meet up, let me know, because I'll be there watching baseball.
Woot woot.
Woot woot, indeed. So thanks again, everybody, for listening, We are the Burgers and Fries podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan. Don't you tell me no lies.
Burgers and fries.